So I hired a dude to come in and fix my dryer, okay? And, you know, when people come to your home to, like, fix things, you don't just, like, walk away. You just watch over them, right? So I was in the living room watching... I was watching Netflix, okay? I was watching some drama show. He was here for quite a while. So he was here for a total of, like, almost 3 hours. Like, the second hour, I felt kind of bad. So I was like, hi, so would you like some water? And the guy was like, yeah, sure, that'd be amazing. And then he was like, actually, do you have coffee? And then I was like, no, I don't. Sorry, I don't drink coffee. But I have tea. And he's like, yeah, tea would be so amazing. Okay, this is the part where I get excited. So I open up my entire cabinet. I'm like, okay, what kind of tea would you like? First of all, he's like, oh my god, that's a lot of tea. I was like, yes. So I like go like, this is Earl Grey, okay. This is oolong. This is pu'er. Okay, I start speaking Chinese and he's really confused because he does not speak any Chinese at all, okay. And I'm like, this is sencha. This is matcha. Okay, so I have like all these teas. And the guy looks at it, gets really overwhelmed, and he's like, what do you recommend? I'm like, okay, are you feeling hot? Are you cold? Do you have stomach problems? Look, I basically brought out my doctor's degree, and I was like, okay, so if you're not feeling well here, I can give you this sort of tea. If your feet hurt, I can give you this sort of tea. If your head hurts, I can give you that sort of tea. The guy's just like, honestly, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it to you. So I was just like, okay, so I'm gonna give you some sencha. So sencha, you know, the important thing about sencha in any type of green tea is like, you can't like use super duper hot boiling water, okay? That's too much. I literally looked at him in the eye, I was like, this is gonna take a while. So I start going into my laboratory, okay, which is my kitchen. Okay, I'm boiling the water. I'm waiting the right amount of time for it to cool down to a certain temperature, okay? You don't use like cold water to add it in, okay? No. And then I use like this really nice teapot, okay? I put like the right amount of tea leaves into the strainer, okay? Not too much because then it'll be bitter, not too little because then it's too light, okay? I pour that shit in, I pour the water in, okay? Let the green tea set in the water for like X amount of minutes, and then I take it out. And then I give him this cup and I'm like, you need to smell this. And he smelled and he's like, oh, it smells kind of like the ocean. And I kind of understand, like, you know, there's a little bit of like this savory smell that you smell in sencha. Yeah. So then I was like, okay, now you can drink it. So he drinks the tea, okay? And then he looks at me. This motherfucking bitch, I swear to God. He looks at me, he's like, it's okay. You know, this is why I don't put an effort into like people, you know, like the tea was so good. I drank the tea afterwards. I'm like, bro, this tea is so good. I'm pretty sure he's just not used to the taste. But lie or something, you know? I don't care. Fix my dryer, bro. Okay, this is the weird part. The guy starts sitting down on my couch. I'm like, okay, I mean, like, I did give him tea, so maybe he just wants to finish it before he continues, you know, like a 2-minute break. Then he starts off conversations, you know. He looks over to my Niji merch, which I totally forgot to put away. Just like, so, you like anime and manga? I'm like, oh, shit. I start swelling my balls. I'm like, shit, I was like, yeah. I start changing my voice by, you know, like an instinct. I was like, yeah, I like anime and manga. Yeah. Sorry, I have a cold. So then he's like, oh yeah, I watch a little bit too. And I was just like, yeah, what kind of anime do you watch? And the guy goes like, Hunter x Hunter. And then my voice goes back to normal. I'm like, Hunter x Hunter, oh my god, I love Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is so good. And then he was like, do you have any other animes you want to recommend me? I was like, yeah, you sound like you like shonen because you're low-key almost like a shonen protagonist. Except you're old. So then I was like, okay, if there's one shonen anime that I really, really like, it's Haikyuu. This is a really good anime about like volleyball. And he's like, oh, I love volleyball. I'm like, yeah. Then he changes the topic into like sports. My conversations start to kind of drift off because I can't really relate anymore. So I was like, yeah, I don't really like go outside, you know, because of my work. And he's like, what do you do? I was like, oh shit. The good thing, and Alouette always has some sort of like, you know, preparation in mind. Okay, I was like, I'm an audio engineer. And the guy was like, wow, you must know a lot because I've never heard anybody say that. What does that mean? I was like, oh, you know, like Beyonce when she records, like. And then he finished the tea and he went back to fixing on the dryer, okay? And then like he had to wait for something to work in the dryer. So he sat down. He sits on the chair right across from me. He wanted to talk to me, but I didn't stop the Netflix show. And he's just like, "Hey, I really like your energy." And I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, I like your energy too. You're so nice. You're the nicest repair." At this point, I still my neurons weren't clicking. Okay, first of all, I just want to say, okay, I'm a little bit dumb, but number two, I was watching Selling Sunset. My head was like in this drama, okay? And then he was like, "Yeah, and I was wondering if you wanted to hang out." As soon as he said, "I was wondering if you'd like to hang out," all the neurons in my brain connect like toot toot toot. Like literally in my brain, it was like, "You dumb fuck." I was like, "Oh shit." I have Riz. And then I do the most like, as friends. I was like, I didn't even want to be this guy's friend. I just wanted him to fix my dryer and get out. Like, I was taken aback a little bit. I was like, "Oh shit, what, is he gonna do something bad now?" I was so scared. I like had my phone in my hand and I was about to call 911, even though he didn't literally do anything that was illegal. And he's like, and the way that he said it was so nice too. He's like, "I was kind of hoping we could hang out with the intention of being more than friends. I just think you're so lovely, and I don't want you to think that I do this with all of my clients." So in my head, I'm just like, "Oh shit, this is actually a genuine person." I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't uncomfortable because of him, but I was uncomfortable because of the situation. I super duper panicked, and I was like, "I'm actually gonna be moving." "I'm actually gonna be moving to Japan with my dad because he misses me and he's getting old. So I'm gonna go back to Japan like, maybe in 3 months." And then I continued to like, stretch this lie. I was just like, "Yeah, that's why I asked you to like fix my dryer because I needed to get everything fixed so that the landlord doesn't charge me things. And yeah, sorry." And then he was like, "Really? You're gonna go back to Japan?" I was like, "Yeah, family's really important to me. I love my dad. My dad wants me to die unmarried and a virgin. So that is the thing I will do." Okay, I didn't say that last part. Also, chat, I know this is gonna sound really weird, but I'm not in the state of mind where I really want to date anyone or even like try. And then I hit an epiphany, okay guys? Like, I don't think I can really like feel comfortable going out with a stranger. Like, I have to like become friends with somebody first, which takes a while. Honestly, if I think about it, it makes sense. Because like when I think about like my friendship with Millie, like it took so long for us to get close. Only because like at that stage when I first met Millie, I was very closed off. Like nowadays it's like I'm a little bit more open than I was when I was younger. So I guess I can be closer to people faster. But yeah. But anyways, he looked so sad and he was like, I guess you could say it was cute, but also kind of like quirky and also low-key kind of like weird. But he started saying things, "I'm gonna write a petition to the landlord board to make sure that the rent and everything is like lowered so you'll stay here." I looked at this dude in the eyes like, okay, look, writing a petition to the landlord is not gonna help anything because overall it's the economy, and there were like some rich people that like came into the country to buy the property, raised everything up, and then went back to their country, so they're making money from our country and their country, so they're fucking richer than ever. And then meanwhile in the locals where we all live, we can't afford shit because they raised up all the property. Yeah, I know he was joking. I was just, I don't know what the fuck to say. I don't know how to be like, "Oh, I know, right? If the rent was lower, I would have totally stayed." I don't know how the fuck to say that, so I was telling him like that. I was literally talking to him about economy, and he's just like, "Then I'm gonna write a letter to the government." It was so awkward. And then like the dryer thing like started beeping, so that was when he had to go back do the finishing fixes. And then yeah, when he was done, he was like, "Do you have social media?" I'm like, "No." And then like I had a flashback in my head. Okay, remember when I was searching up Haikyuu and showing him? He probably saw that I had some sort of social media. Like he saw for sure. So then I was like, "Yeah, I can add you on one of these." I gave him like a fake one. I was just like, "Yeah, but I just want you to know that I never used this." I'm like, I hate social media. I'm one of those woke people who like, I don't know what the fuck I said. I was like vomiting the most BS shit I've ever heard myself speak. I was like, I think it's terrible on the young people nowadays. I'm actually part of this activist group where we actively try to stop people around our age to use less social media. The guy was just like, "Okay, well, I'll add you on that one social media anyways." He's like, "Can we keep in touch?" And I was like, "Thank you for talking about it." So like, yeah, the dryer works. So yeah, and he's just like, "Yeah, I hope we can get in touch and maybe we could see each other one last time before you leave for Japan." And I was like, I got a lot of work. So anyways, this guy finally packs up his toolbox. He gives me one last look and he's like super sad. He's like, It was really lovely meeting you. And I was like, oh my god, yeah, thank you so much. I didn't even say anything. I was just like, thank you so much for fixing my dryer. And then I opened the door for him. He leaves, smiles at me, and I close the door, lock it. I lock it, I chain the door up, okay, and I fucking locked the windows. I fucking closed the blinds. You know, I locked everything. I like searched around the dryer in case there's some kind of like GPS thing. I'm just kidding. Actually though, you know, obviously I'm like low-key poking fun, but this dude was so genuine. He was a little bit persistent towards the end. But you know what? He never like disrespected me, you know. If I didn't want to do something, I don't think he would have like forced it upon me. I don't know how to say no, you know. So for that guy, for that person who wrote on my wiki page like potentially might not find a partner, like fuck you first of all, and number two, in your face, I need that person who's editing all the VTuber wiki pages to change that one line about me. So yeah, you're welcome. A 32 out of 10. Yo, guys, I need to, like, upgrade my personality. I feel like after this story, it's not a 32 anymore. It's probably a 42. Sorry, guys. I've leveled up. Chat, I'm leaving y'all behind. Yeah, guys. Maybe next week I'll get married or something. You won't even know. Always wanted everybody to call me One-chan. I'm gonna get demonetized.